Today is Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. It's also the third day of the week, or Yom Shlishi, 5 Tammuz. Hey Tammuz, 5785. Parshah Chukat, and decided in honor of Rosh Chodesh July. A little funny thing I put together. Rosh Chodesh July, meaning the beginning of the new month of July. Decided to make a short video, maybe between 5 and 10 minutes, about the PL-89 calendar. And it is a luni-solar calendar that takes into consideration the sun and the moon, represented by the Gregorian date and the Hebrew date. So, and it's also called the Mercury Thought Calendar because it's based on a 90 days and published data talks about Mercury having an orbit around the sun of 87 point something days, and so it's connected with that 3-month period of time. So typically there's 4 of these in a year. It goes through the cycle 4 times. So right now we're in the Tekufa, which means the era, the time of Tammuz, and so the date, it switches back and forth to which is called the ruler. And there's many reasons behind who this ruler is. In the summer months, the Gregorian, or the sun, is the ruler, and it takes precedence over the moon. And there's some very simple, logical and observable reasons why this would be. Well, number one, very simply, the days are longer and the nights are shorter. So the sun, like literally, physically rules in that it's more prevalent, it's more visible. So that's one. But there's also spiritual reasons why the sun is prevalent and more dominant during this time. And one of those reasons is that in a certain model of thinking, certain type of thinking, the Gentile world, the non-Jewish world, can be represented by the sun, and the Jewish world can be represented by the moon. Or, to go even further than that, more specific, the sun can represent Esau, and the moon can represent Jacob, Yaakov. And there's reasons for that, and there's even ways to reverse it, to say that Jacob could be the sun and Esau could be the moon, but that's a little bit counterintuitive, and we can work within those reasonings for different purposes. But for this purpose, Esau was considered, and the Gentile world was considered to be the sun, and the Jewish world and Jacob is the moon. And for a simple reason that the secular calendar, the Gregorian calendar, which was made by the Pope, and the Gentile world, is based on the sun, 365 days. And the Jewish calendar is based on a basic 354-day lunar. It's based on the months, 12 months a year, and then leap year 13 months. And the purpose of this calendar is, there's several purposes. And one of them would be to use a general word reconciliation, to see how these two entities, these two forces, can meet each other. As the Alter Rebbe of Chabad wrote in Torah Or, that the redemption, and this is quoted by someone, I saw only part of it inside, so I'm quoting something that someone else quoted. So that the redemption is based on the meeting of Jacob and Esau, the two brothers meeting each other in a peaceful way. Excuse me, sorry about that. That the way he puts it, and this I did see inside, that Esau represents the world of Tohu, which is generally chaos, but it's the light of chaos. The Or Tohu, light of chaos, is very high light. and it's in fact a lot higher than Jacob, and we can see that if we represent Esau or the Gentile world with the sun, they're much more dominant. There's much more. The sun's a lot brighter and I mean, you look at just the United States, it would be under that sun category, whereas the Jewish people, they're a lot smaller in number, and you do have Jews that, of course, are raised to prominence, but they're still a minority. They're a lot smaller, and there's always the idea that, not to be too ethnocentric about it, but that Jewish people are leaders in many different fields, and but that's not to say that Gentiles are not leaders as well. But this calendar is meant to bring some kind of a harmonious balance and to bring about the ultimate redemption, according to these ideas of Hasidus that I have some exposure to, not a lot, but some. There's another idea that was expressed, also told to me. I haven't heard him say it. But if there's a Lubavitcher person who knows Chabad Torah well, they'll let me know if the Rebbe said this or not. But someone told me that the Rebbe said, not many, I don't know if many occasions or not many occasions, but he said, the words were, Oros de Tohu, Bekelim de Tikkun, bring me lights of chaos in vessels of rectification. And that sounds like a cryptic statement, but what he was alluding to, according to this person that I heard it from, who is very familiar with Chabad Torah, so I believe that what he said is correct. It's true that the Rebbe actually did say this, that the vessels of rectification is Jacob, but the lights of chaos is the very, very high light that comes from Esav. Not the unrectified Esav, but the higher level Esav that could be the reason why it says that Isaac loved Esav more than Jacob. And the reason the verse says is because he gave him food. But Isaac wasn't such a physical or crass person that he loved one son because he gave him food. There's a deeper meaning to that. And it could be because he recognized the potential in Esau was much higher than Jacob. Although in this world, the way it was put in the Chabad Torah is that when it comes down to this world, there's a Shaviras Akalim, there's a breaking of the vessel, and in this world, in his time, unfortunately, he expressed himself on the side of evil and selfishness, I guess is one way of saying it. And so this calendar maps out a 90-day period, or shows a 90-day period, and today is July 1st. So on this calendar, it would be box number 38. And the Hebrew date is Tammuz 5. Which on this calendar you just go 38, and the way this calendar is made is by a sequence of 8 plus 9, and that's a topic for a whole other video. But it's based on psukim in Parshas Bahar, and 8 plus 9 is 17, plus 9. I'm sorry, 8 plus 9 is 17, plus 8 is 25, then plus 9 is 34, and then 40 is the cutoff point for other reasons, which will also be explained in the future, as God willing. But suffice it to say that there is a balance between the distance of the Gregorian date and the Hebrew date. Now, I said earlier that in these summer days, the sun is dominant. That means Esav is dominant. And how else can we see that Esav is dominant? It was in the summer that the temple was destroyed, the Beis Hamikdash, which was destroyed by Esav, by Rome, Edom. And that was when Israel was relatively weaker. And we see another reason why the sun is dominant its sun represents Esau, and Rome is Esau, and Rome took captives of the Jewish people, brought back slaves to Rome, and sacked the temple, took artifacts, took all the sacred vessels. That shows that the sun is more predominant. In that model. So, because of that reason, this calendar also has the same motif. So the Gregorian date is set before the Hebrew date, and then so July 1st was 3, but 5 of Tammuz, which is also today, is 32. So it goes like this: 38 plus 9 is going to be 7, not 47, but 7 because it cuts off at 40. So 38 and 7, and then plus 8 is 15, plus 9 is 24, plus 8 is 32. Now, what's interesting about today, and I haven't done enough research on this, but I'm developing something, is that these calendars map out a 2-day distance in every mercurial year. This can be called a mercurial year or a Tekufa, but this box right here, the 5th of Tammuz, now in the astrology or in the study of the seasons or time in Jewish, and also I've seen in non-Jewish as well, but we have something called Tekufas, the seasons. So you have Tekufas Tammuz, Tekufas Tishrei, Tekufas Teves, Tekufas Nisan. So this box here, I made a video when it was in the winter time. It was in Teves. It was right after Hanukkah, and it was January 5th. And I know that very well because this year there was an incredible alignment between I say incredible because it happened twice this year. It happened in Teves was January and Adar was March. So 5th of January was the 5th of Teves. And that was a Sunday. And then if you go to Tekufas Nisan, then that would be the 3rd, because it was a +2. 3rd of April was Thursday, the 5th of Nisan. And today is the 5th of Tammuz, and it's a Tuesday. So we see that in every Tekufa, there's 2 days apart. But that could just be this year, or it could be every year like that. I don't know. I'd like to find out. But what's interesting is that today, some very interesting things happened. And I think I'm running out of time. I want to keep it less than 15 minutes. But this thought calendar has to do with the 72 names. And the 72 names, if you look at this, the way this calendar is made, and if you look at a diagram of this 72 names, it's structured the exact same way. There's 8 columns, and then there's 9 rows. So 8 times 9 is 72. It makes 72 letter names. I have no idea that was going to be the case when I made this. I only found out years later when I started studying the 72 names. But these 72 names became the idea of 72 days, that the 72-letter name of God that is derived from these verses of splitting of the sea, which splitting of the sea, when we read that, was 72 days ago from today. Well, from yesterday actually, but around the same time. And so you can take Pesach from Nisan into Tammuz. And so on Hey Tevis, which is a huge day in the Lubavitcher world, when they had victory over their books, the library, which is the books, and I think I'm running up into 15, so just suffice it for today. July 1st is 38, and Hey Tammuz is 32. Thank you.